all, how's it going? Now, I know I don't normally talk as much about US politics as British politics, because 90% of me subscribers are from the UK. But in these cold, secular times, you know, the whole world really is watching America. Because what goes on in the States inevitably takes place in Europe. It always has been the same, and it shall ever be that way. They are the cultural powerhouse, and if it happens over here, it soon happens over there. Kamala Harris is an interesting one, even if you don't follow US politics as much. Because let me tell you, this whole identity politics thing that, you know, started in America, the genesis was all over here when the postmodernist academics took over the academy over in the States, and look where we've gone, followed them down that rabbit hole with gusto, haven't we? Kamala Harris is absolutely detestable. She is, as my old granny would have called her, a yo-yo knicker Jezebel. An absolute slut. My old nana was funny, and she used to call... the things she used to say when me and my brother were winding her up, telling about, you know, we'd tell her that some girl at school had been, like, letting the lads queue up for gobbles out the back of the youth club. Like, totally making shit up. Most of the time. It was Middlesbrough. Most of the time we were making it up. And she'd be, like, outraged. Always swallowed it all, hook, line and sinker, and then had just let both barrels go about the state of all these wanton fucking slut buckets that we used to hang around with. And my God, she'd have loved Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris, she's not like my gal Tulsi. I like Tulsi. You can disagree with a lot of her politics, and she is a bit of a, you know, an idealistic liberal, but she never does identity politics. And as far as I'm aware, hasn't been banging like a barn door in a hurricane to get where she is. Like, Tulsi, my gal, she's got a minge like a mouse's ear. Nice and neat. Kamala Harris, she is the proverbial gutted fireplace I've joked about. Gash like a burst mattress. Kamala. Fucking, it's funny because Roseanne Barr, she calls her Kamala Sutra. Which is a fucking great nickname. I love this article. She said Kamala Harris slept her way to the bottom. And I have to stick up for Roseanne Barr, because on this sfgate.com, it's San Francisco-based media. The first headline's horrible, and it says Trump supporting comedian and actress whose show was cancelled after she compared a black woman to an ape is not done with incendiary insults. Well, she totally didn't mean that in a racist way. You can definitely see that all she was doing there was making some observational humour. It's like when Boris called Muslim women letterbox ladies. It's observational humour. He's not saying anything negative about the religion at all, or saying anything negative about brown people. It's observational humour. It's remarking that rough shape of a burger with a little slot in it can look a little bit like a letterbox, like little kids have made the same remarks. Observational humour isn't racist humour. If she said something like, Valerie Jarrett is inferior to me because I'm white, that's racist. But she didn't. She was making observational humour. And I listened to Roseanne Barr because I like her a lot. She gave an interview to Candace Owens. She said she didn't even know she was mixed race. She was doing it because she does, and I swear down, I'm not being funny, not making any comments about race. Just look her up. I mean, come on. Right? First of all, she's totally right. She doesn't look black. Like, she could easily be Hispanic, or even just, you know, like she could be Spanish or Italian, like a dark European. And secondly, come on, look at just look. That is a fucking good likeness. So there's no need to make out that Roseanne Barr is some horrible neo-Nazi type, because she totally isn't. She's been a liberal her whole life. And you can't, I think it's outrageous to make her out to be some sort of fascist fucking racial purist, because she isn't. But this made me laugh. Slept her way to the bottom. Because it turns out, right, for those of you that don't know, Kamala Harris has got a long career behind her, but the main reason she's got that career is because she banged a very, very old man when she was in her 20s. It's a guy called Willie Brown. This fucker, Willie Brown, was dug up Kamala like a fucking rat up a drain pipe when he was fucking 60 and she was in her 20s. So, and look at him. Don't tell me that when you're a 60-year-old man, you've got 20-year-olds chasing you all over because you're just so handsome and charismatic. I think we all know why she was parting her fucking whiskers for Willie. And it's not because he's some sort of handsome, charismatic charmer. It's because if you can help her career in some way, clearly slippery Kamala will bang like a belt-fed wombat. That is that's her modus operandi. Now, obviously, American Think is a small blog, but all the comments on here are from good sources, i.e. interviews with the San Francisco Chronicle, and they've just distilled it down nicely, which is why I'm using it. She was his mistress as well. It said her work's not based on her position's not based on hard work or merit, but it's because she was her political patron, former lawyer to pimps, was the mayor of San Francisco and state assembly speaker Willie Brown. He admitted he helped her get her political start writing in his blog. Yes, we dated. It was more than 20 years ago. Yes, I may have influenced her career by appointing her to 2 state commissions when I was Assembly Speaker, and I certainly helped her first race for District Attorney in San Francisco. I have also helped the careers of House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, Governor Gavin Newsom, Senator Dianne Feinstein, and a host of other politicians. This is unbelievable. It probably is like the mafia, and I'm going to go through it right down to the getting sucked off for good positions and roles. Like, honestly, it's like the fucking mafia. Yeah, Harris, who was in her late 20s when she dated the 60-year-old married man in 1994. Yeah, absolute slut. Okay, I know what you're grinning for, you horse-faced fucking harlot. She has seen more pricks than a second-hand dartboard, this filthy fucker. Kamala Harris, been on more pipes than the Mario Brothers. Let's walk through some of her other achievements, completely away from the fact that she fucks pensioners to get power. Which also, like I've talked about before, this is what really concerns me about these politicians. If you're a billionaire or a multimillionaire like Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump or any of them, why aren't you just sitting on a beach drinking fucking banana daiquiris and enjoying your life? Joe Biden should be just enjoying his taxpayer-funded millions, which he stole off the American taxpayer, right? Everyone knows it. At least if you're going to slag Donald Trump off, at least he got his money off his dad. I mean, if I'm being harsh and I'm slagging off both of them, Donald Trump didn't make his own money. He inherited it all off his dad, or lent it off his dad. But Joe Biden took it all off the taxpayers. So which is worse? Joe Biden made millions because of his position. He took it either off the taxpayer or he took it in bungs and bribes off China, fucking Ukrainian oligarchs, or anybody else that'd give him money. He's as bent as a fucking $8 bill. At least Trump just got it off his dad. It's just less annoying, even if he is incompetent and he never made any money of his own. At least he got it off his dad. It's better than getting it off me. It's better than getting it off bus drivers and plumbers like fucking Slippery Joe. Or getting it off taxpayers via the medium of sucking a fucking 60-year-old man fucking bone dry. Like, seriously, these people are appalling. But Kamala Harris, right, so yeah, she got a position because she fucked a married pensioner, and everybody knows it. Right, that was in the LA Times, because she could use them as unpaid labour, or well, $1 an hour. Did it on purpose. I did read about her putting prostitutes in jail as well. She put parents in jail for the kids skipping school and laughed about it.
I would not be standing here were it not for the education I received. And I know many of us will say the same thing. And I believe a child going without an education is tantamount to a crime. So I decided I was going to start prosecuting parents for truancy. Well, this was a little controversial in San Francisco. And frankly,
Ugh, what a bitch. She opposed DNA testing that might get an innocent black man off death row. Refused to advance it because it would have cleared Kevin Cooper, a man accused of murder in a trial tinged with racism and corruption. Kamala Harris is a dirty cop. That's basically what she is. She's always been an advocate of the death penalty, which fair enough, right? If you're a right-wing fucker, probably a good selling point for her. But don't tell me that she's the most fucking progressive woman to ever run for office. Are you having a laugh? It's identity politics. If they wanted a progressive woman, they should have picked Warren. But don't try and tell me that Kamala Harris is progressive when she's got a 30-year career to look back over and she's just been fucking Robocop. Robocop with tits. Robocop, if he sucked off geriatric men to get his position as the top cop. She's a big fucking fan of civil asset forfeiture, which allows police to seize money, property and vehicles under a simple suspicion of being used for criminal activity. She loves that. She sponsored a bill to allow seizure of profits without charges. And in 2011, she opposed a bill that would have reformed the procedure. Robocop. Sexually aggressive robot cock. Oh yeah, and she famously said this.
I believe them, and I respect them being able to tell their story and having the courage to do it.
Do you believe that the vice president should enter this race?
Oh, he's going to have to make that decision for himself.
Uh-oh. I believe them and I respect them being able to tell their story and having the courage to do it. Holy shit. Politics is just disgusting business, isn't it? Disgusting. Like, it was bad when Ted Cruz and Donald Trump were proper going at each other. And then 6 months later, they're fucking best mates. And he's calling him Texas Ted, just because it's politically expedient. But in the case of Kamala Harris, it's just absolutely sickening. Like, this one's been doing the rounds. Did you see that one? Talcum X. In November 2018, he said, "I'll be frank and tell you, the two Democrats I'm 99% sure I won't be supporting, primarily because of their dismal history on criminal justice reform over the course of their entire careers. It's Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. They both helped build and advance mass incarceration." And less than 2 years later, that's it for me. I'm so incredibly proud to see a brilliant black woman and HBCU grad chosen as vice presidential nominee. I've done political work my whole life. It's rarely things dreams are made of. Kamala Harris is the most progressive VP in American history. Like, oh my fucking God. How can you even type it with a straight face, let alone say it? It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. They're just awful, aren't they? Politics is fucking awful. This is why I never get involved in it. It's just, you just have to be a rat of a man. Just have no morals whatsoever. So yeah, Kamala Harris, absolute slut bucket. She could suck a golf ball through a garden hose. Crusty old pensioner hanging out the back of her when she was in her 20s, even though he was married, just so she could climb the slippery pole. She climbed slippery poles so she could climb the other slippery pole. She's been under more bedsheets than the fucking Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan. And yeah, that's that. Kamala Harris. Militant robot copper, jailing prosies and blacks left, right and centre. A career spent shamelessly self-promoting, doing anything she can to climb the ladder, including incarcerating thousands of people who used for slave labour. And apparently, now she's the most progressive woman in American history. Only in bizarro world. Like I keep saying, right? Since the communists took over, left is right, up is down, the sky is green and the grass is blue. History is what they make it. It is 1984. They're emptying the libraries and filling them with their own fake history books. And all we've got to look forward to is at least we can see the truth via good old right-wing YouTube, because it's the only place where normal people are just saying, hang on a sec, this is fiction. You're living in an alternate reality. And this is yet another case of it, one of thousands, that somehow a woman with a decades-long career of right-wing intolerance when it comes to criminal justice is somehow the most progressive woman to ever run for office. I shit you not. You couldn't make this shit up, could you? So there we are. That's what I think of Kamala Yo-Yo Nickett Harris. She's fucking hilarious. Do your own reading. She's ridiculous. 30 years shooting rapists in the nuts, and now apparently she's fucking 10 steps left of Elizabeth Warren. Do me a fucking favour, will you? Christ. Anyway, that's that for the day. I'm in a hurry. I'll see you guys very soon. Cheers.